So are we at this inflection point for crypto? And how quickly are we about to integrate stablecoins into businesses?
Yeah, I think more and more businesses are going to be using stablecoins and crypto every single day from now on. Obviously, the Genius Act sort of accelerates that, but in general, I expect that what we're going to see is brands using stablecoins and crypto without even really realizing it. They're going to be using different platforms like Stripe, which are obviously integrating stablecoins into their core business model. And before they know it, they'll be sending money all around the world in internet native money, just because it's cheaper, faster, and easier.
Now, it seems like stablecoins are taking off mostly because businesses have figured out how to use them, not because customers have started to ask for them, at least in developed countries. So, is that where the real unlock for crypto and stablecoins specifically is? B2B versus involving the customer who may not care how they pay so much?
I think it's interesting about how they pay, but it's also interesting about how they can be paid. So, because of stablecoins for the first time in history, anyone in the world can be paid who has a laptop or a mobile phone in stablecoins. So, a US company can pay anyone anywhere in the world without having to use Swift and other traditional money transfer systems. Instead, they can just pay a person directly for any particular outcome. And I think that that's kind of a big reason why we're seeing a lot of enterprise and business adoption is because they can now transact with the world rather than just transact with the country in which they're operating.
And I certainly understand the incentive from a merchant perspective, but it's always that disconnect to the customer, where in a country like the US, for example, where these credit card networks offer perks that aren't yet matched by the stablecoin companies, what is the incentive for a customer? And are you seeing that kind of appetite for the end user to operate in stablecoins?
I think the main reason that users would want to use stablecoins is basically because they can transact faster, they can transact with more systems internationally rather than worrying about only transacting with systems in certain countries. So it's more taking money truly international and meaning that it can move in a more borderless, accelerated fashion. But I do think that most of the growth that you're going to see is going to be encouraged by brands and users inadvertently using it rather than users demanding it and then businesses using it.
Yeah, the conversation I've had with a lot of people always comes back to the fact that the stablecoin companies are going to have to build out a more robust infrastructure around rewards in order to create that kind of incentive where customers would say, "Hey, I'll put down my Amex and I'm going to use a stablecoin based payment platform instead because I'm getting similar perks." And so that seems to be how you might bridge the divide there.